Welcome to Shade in the City. I'm Tracey.
It's Nels.
And we are getting into part 2 of the Ready to Love reunion. And it's about to get shady. We're not as dressed up as last time, but that's okay. We're still hosting. And we thank you for coming to attend the shadiness of it all. So let's get into it and let's get shady.
So, Zadia feels the need to go to the dressing room after calling this shit gets hell. Because everybody's arguing and nobody's coming to any resolution. She's got some shit going on back home and she ain't here for this shit. She's like, I could have stayed home for this shit.
Y'all all 30, 40-year-old people, y'all out here acting like y'all loving hip hop instead of... I said it.
She did. And Cecilia's not feeling it. She's like, I'm already going through my own shit. I don't want to have to deal with
extra shit.
Y'all shit. Which I can understand because even if it's not directed towards you, other people's bad energy just...
It weighs on you.
Yeah, it weighs on you. Puts you in a bad fucking mood.
And what did we say, Shade Squad? We are protecting our energy in 2022.
All 2020.
All 2020. We are not doing that. So we can completely understand where you're coming from, Cecilia. And I hate to say it because I'm all for the... What she said, what he said. But once it becomes too toxic and I start to feel it, I would have removed myself. So I completely respect you for that. Because it does weigh on you. So yeah, I hope her mother's okay. I believe her mother was in the hospital and that's why she had a little moment.
So in this scene, Zadia wants to let it be known that she made a connection, y'all. And her connection is Nye. I mean, he was the last man standing, so we kind of knew that. Y'all all chummy next to each other on the couch.
We kind of knew y'all ended up together, like. But did you? As Sydney said, I love when she goes, well, can we just talk about how me and Nye made a connection? And I forgot who said it, or somebody was like, oh, because he, and Sydney was like, well, that's because he got voted. Or no, he said, I left because, with her.
No, he was like, I left because she left. She was like, let's be clear.
You got voted off.
Like,
Sydney, so I'm here for your shade, girl.
I think what happened was Zadia got voted off and then Nye left.
He is self-eliminated.
He's self-eliminated. So I think that's what Nye is referring to. He's like, well, I left because she got voted off. But
he knew he was next.
I mean, would Zadia do the same? Because she was feeling Dante. She actually told Dante she would pick him. She was going to choose him. But, that's neither here nor there. Clearly, you didn't give a fuck because nephew Tommy actually told you and you didn't give a damn. And now you're here defending her and all her bullshit shenanigans. So
he really is going hard for her, y'all.
Yeah.
Less is hard.
We know you want to talk about your game.
All right, y'all. Okay. So, Sabrina, your nickname is Sheena. Because this face and these attitudes that you be giving, girl.
Mm-hmm.
And the way you gave it to Walter, I was like, damn. But you know what? You saved the best for last. I ain't even mad at it. She said, look, you thought you was going to play me this whole time. I got something for you, boo-boo. Wait till decision day. No, but in all honesty, I do think that Sabrina did try. She gave Walter an honest chance. They talk about on the platform, they show basically go back and look at footage. And, Tanika Ray asked her, well, did you really feel like you were Walter's number 2? And she's like, absolutely. She's like, he never called me. He never made, I was always initiating. And that's not what I want to do.
And she has been very vocal
about that with everybody. The
entire season.
Yeah.
That, basically I'm the one who's initiating and, I'm the woman. You're going to show interest by the chase.
So, yes, Sabrina and Walter go through their back and forth. Sabrina feels as if Walter just was not really into this situation,
or into her,
like
most women would have felt like,
and that he's just, he just wants someone younger. Walter goes on to explain that he doesn't know where Sabrina got this notion of him wanting a younger woman. He actually is very into Sabrina, and he said everybody knew that was my number one. Now why you didn't treat her that way, I don't know. Does look a little suspect, but again, it just depends on the level of severity in your mind and in her mind and whatever. That's all.
Y'all were ready for love. Tracey clearly is on a whole nother page.
What's understood don't need to be explained. So therefore, Walter says that he does like younger women, and but the reason why he does go for younger women is because he does want to have a child of his own, which I thought was kind of like, but I mean, we gotta respect it. It is what it is. And they apparently get to a point where they had grown so deep in their friendship relationship that Sabrina, and we had seen her all season saying, I'm not having no more kids. I'm not having no more kids. And she actually said, I would be open to it, thinking about it with you. So how you messed that up, bruh, I do know. But it's consistency. I think that's all she was asking for. Mm-hmm. And when you're looking for a relationship that is supposed to be ready to love and moving forward, you want to know that your partner's interested in you. You definitely don't want to feel insecure. And I definitely think Walter it's sad because this is just my take. I don't think he's a terrible, terrible person or a bad guy. I think he does not know how to date.
But I would also feel like number two.
No, I'm not saying that it's not valid, her feeling that way. What I'm saying is I think that he does not know how to date. Mm-hmm. So the same way, if he wasn't giving Sabrina somebody that he really, really cared about, and he probably wasn't giving the young girls the same thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you're younger or older. It doesn't have any.
We're not talking about dating. We're just talking about you didn't want to talk to me. You didn't want to hear my voice. You didn't want to reach out. You didn't want to see what I was doing. Hey, what's up? What you doing? Type of text.
I don't know, because I know a lot of older men that are like that.
So you're okay.
I'm not okay, but I'm
no. I mean, not you personally.
But I know a lot of older men that are like that. That are
okay going days without talking. You don't miss me. You don't think about me. No. You don't want to reach out for nothing. But I'm supposed to feel like you're interested in me.
No, and Sabrina says that. He was like, well, why wouldn't you call me and tell me that you weren't picking me? Why wouldn't you tell me there was a problem? And Sabrina was like, why aren't you calling me?
Yeah, we would have never got here had you been reaching out. Even though what you doing, just to let you know that you're on my brain. That's it.
I think that this is just my observation, and I may be wrong. I think that if I'm not mistaken, Walter had said he had been with his wife from college, mm-hmm. and they had been together through that.
He dated after. He did say that.
He dated after, but was it serious?
It doesn't matter. I'm sure you had to reach out in order to date. You had to show
interest what you in order to date. Dating. Hitting you up and taking you out to dinner and then we fuck. That's a date, right?
He had to hit them up though, did he not?
Or did they hit him? That's what I'm saying. Mm-mm. And like she said, he did it for a week, so he shows that he can do it. He knows how to do it.
That makes it even worse. But
he can't be consistent with
That's a problem.
And what I'm saying is that I'm just saying I don't think Walter is necessarily a bad guy. I just don't think he knows how to date. I don't think he knows how to date. Just because he's done it before, that doesn't mean he was good at it. I think, and I'm not trying to do the whole trauma shit, but I do think when you have been with someone who maybe it was easy because y'all went to college together, y'all over the years, and she accepted your shit, which he said it, he admitted, she accepted a lot of shit. And then he loses her. Even when you get back into the dating game, the only thing you can talk about is I can see women making excuses for the bullshit, just giving it to him. But that's, again, why he probably, it is what it is. But I can see why he has probably had a hard time establishing a serious relationship because of this. But I don't think that makes him a bad guy.
I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but I would
I don't think he's just out there.
I would feel like if you're inconsistent in this, you're inconsistent. You're inconsistent in a relationship. I can't count on you for shit. I can't count on you to be consistent with anything. If you can't even pick up the phone, especially after a week of doing it.
Yeah.
To hit me up text me, let me know that you're interested. Dude, you're the one supposed to be chasing me.
Fact.
Okay? And if you're not making me feel wanted, I mean, you can't even be consistent in a texting. Like, I would feel like you're not consistent in a relationship. The fuck I want one with you for.
Good point. All right. So we get to Miss Courtney and Cornelius, and we run it back with some replays of Courtney being flirty, 30. And yeah, basically Cornelius, they show a moment where I guess I don't even remember this scene, but when they ran it back, I was like, okay, I guess that did happen. And I guess they were having drinks, and he was like, I may need a ride home, and she was like, oh, I'll take you home. And I guess that was like I don't want to say breaking point, but Cornelius was like, yeah, this is too much.
That he needs a woman with more conviction. Because he's abstinent and he's wanting to wait to have sex. And Camille is all about it. And like Courtney said, I'm not waiting. So I guess
Cornelius, I think she said, 2 months is more reasonable, but I'm not waiting 2 years to see what that be like. Because I imagine she thinks that's what a normal, lifespan of a relationship.
2 years is a long time.
Well, yeah, if y'all not smashing and y'all just getting and to learn each other on an emotional path, and not saying you're not gonna go through nothing, but can you imagine if you were like in a 5-year engagement and you got to wait 5 years to do it to your partner, how hard that might be? Being around each other, being in situations y'all both like to drink, do you understand? And but I'm supposed to lay in the bed and I think that would be very.
And then you really get to know each other like without sex, so you're gonna feel even more attracted
to him. That's what I say, because the emotional connection is, for me, that's what makes me want to do it. When I'm like, oh my God, his vibe is everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's much more for me than the physical, because the physical can fade, that can go away, but the emotional, once that's there, that would be hard to fight, especially after we done had a couple drinks and you say some shit in my ear or da-da-da, and you think I'm going to bed? You not going to bed, not without me. That's how that's gonna go. But no, I really do, and I just want to say hats off to Courtney, because I think that is so beautiful that regardless if maybe that's not your preference, that is his.
And she respected it.
And she respected it. She didn't try to down him. And I see a lot of people in the comments on the internet, they say very negative things, just because that's his decision.
About him being abstinent?
Yes. And I'm just so tired of that narrative that if a man isn't a whore, and having sex with multiple women, or just because he's not just having sex with a woman just to have sex with her, then that means either he doesn't like them or that something's wrong with him.
I would think it would be even harder for them to come to the decision to
be
abstinent than for us.
I will say that, Cornelius, I'm gonna be honest with you, not crazy about the Camille, but if that is what your emotional connection is your love for the Lord, and that is your foundation. I always say, if that's your foundation, you can only go up from there. That's the strongest foundation to have. So I absolutely respect it. Might not have been my choice, but thank you. But I do respect you for your conviction, because it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to be, and I do think that I misjudged him in the beginning, because I was under the impression that, oh, well, he'll give it to Courtney, but he's just not da-da-da. And no, he's like, no, I'm not giving it to you. I'm not giving it to you. I'm not giving it to you. This is who I am. This is where I stand. And this is my belief. So, Cornelius, I appreciate you for that. And I'm going to put some respect on your name. And Courtney, you're still a beautiful girl. And you're only 30, girl. Let me tell you something. That was like 5-6 years ago. Girl, I missed 30. So, you just on the cusp, girl. You got so much more to go through. And
I agree with Tanika. Be wooed.
Be wooed. Don't always be. And that's only because I'm the flirtatious one. I can be a chaser myself. So I understand where you're coming from, girl. But when you let it come to you, it works. It kind of just works itself out. It works a little bit better. So that's just my thought. You can do that.
Copy and paste. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. Does not know why he does these things. He really just aggravates me. Corey aggravates the fuck out of me. He is trying to.
All right, Corey. So I really was trying to give you grace, right? I really was. Because you're a very handsome fella. And I think that I want to believe. I think I would be the sucker because I would be wanting to believe that your intentions are fucking genuine. Like, no, because he has such a good personality, and I'm all about people with the heart, and then people.
When did we see his good personality on camera?
When he was with Mumin and they do it, like when he's in the moment, remember, we were like, oh, Corey. And then we see the other that he does with everybody else. But if you didn't know that and you're just looking at the one moment that you have with him, think about it. If he was dating these women exclusively separately,
that's why they got so close.
They would never know that
he's doing special shit for both of them.
For all of them, right? So that's the thing. Ignorance is bliss. And if nobody would have known, and Corey explains the reason that he does that. Corey, I be trying. He said the reason that he does that is because he wants somebody to look at him like his mother looks at his father. And he just wants to put a smile, and he's like, and I'm so addicted to it. It's like a drug. And I just love putting smiles on women's faces. But all right, here's my thing, Corey. Hear me out. Hear me loud and clear. Sean, I hope you share this with him. All right. Shout out to Sean, by the way. So, all I'm going to say is that the same way you are putting smiles on women's faces could be the same way you are breaking their hearts. How does that make sense? If they were to find out about these other women and what you're doing. And I think that's why maybe you may not make it past first dates or whatever the case may be, because these girls get a wind of who you put it on them and it's like, oh my God, he's so sweet. And then if you're a nosy motherfucker like me, you're going to figure out real quick what else you got going on. So I just,
dude, okay, my problem is he doesn't understand. It's like he doesn't see what he's doing wrong. He's talking about his parents. Sir, we're just talking about the fact that you do the same shit with different women. If you went through your girl's phone and saw a text thread between you and her,
and she was telling
pictures and all the same shit. Hey boo, good morning, love, da 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 da. I miss you. Pictures, all the same shit that she shared with another motherfucker. You wouldn't be upset.
I don't know if he hasn't found the right person yet to get him out of that, to make him feel like, or I don't know if it's going to take him a complete heartbreak like a Tristan where somebody's going to have to dog you out and you're going to have to find a thought to completely do you wrong and cheat on you for you, or just basically make you feel like.
Please don't get Tristan.
I'm just saying. I think that maybe he has to feel it himself on his own, and that sucks. But some people are hard.
That's the only way they learn.
Some people are hard heads. I'm hard headed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't learn, and you could tell me 50 times, don't do that. That's not smart. Don't do that. And guess what I'm gonna do? Do it. And then come back to you crying. Why did you tell me?
I just feel like it's common sense, though.
No, but that
if you're feeling somebody more than the other, that's normally the person you do the special shit for, right? Right?
You don't
but
treat
if you're
everybody
doing
like they
special shit for everybody,
nobody's special.
Nobody's special. But you made them all feel special until they all find out that you were doing special shit for everybody. And then they all feel like assholes. Mm. So your tears, I don't understand your tears. I don't understand why you're crying. I don't get it. I don't understand.
And then I love how Tanika Ray asked Courtney and Mumin how they feel about, because Tanika's like, I have a whole new understanding of you, Corey.
I didn't understand that. I wish you would have explained it because I didn't get it.
And yeah, we were still having trouble. And look, I'm over here trying to find words and ways to defend you, but don't worry, I'm gonna get in that ass before we're done. So, she asked Courtney and Mumin what they think, and you see Mumin's face right here in the middle, right? She's like, y'all got me fucked up. And you look so beautiful too. You were giving face,
yes,
but still
I'm
giving.
So glad that I caught this picture,
but still giving gas face. I loved it. It was no, you know what? It
that
was
is a beautiful.
It
picture.
was RBF. You were giving resting bitch face.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. I loved it.
Resting bitch face does not always look good though.
Yeah, and you did that.
A beautiful picture.
You knew the assignment. So Courtney, she's giving RBF as well. And they're just not here for, they're like, first of all, Corey, you're an actor. So we know, you know how to cry on cue. Everybody else is sitting.
What's so funny is
Camille looked like she was getting ready to get over there and cry.
What's crazy is Camille is the only motherfucker that relates to him, right? And understands where the fuck he's coming from. But she's the biggest actress on the fucking show.
Well, no,
it was a voiceover.
He's misunderstood. So no,
they're both fucking actors.
I will say, well, we know Cornelius is an actor too. Now, yeah, but Sabrina does come to bat for Corey, which I can appreciate Sabrina. And she was like, I'm gonna keep it 100. I loved it.
She said he was misunderstood and she made him sound like he's a weirdo.
She just said, I said
differently.
I said some really bad things about Corey, and, you know, not that she took them back, but she said after getting to know him and they developed, you know, a sort of a relationship or friendship. And she's like, and he's just misunderstood. Maybe not the person for her or any other women.
That makes him sound like a weirdo.
Corey, you thought we was done? I'm like DJ Khaled. Another one. All right, bruh.
You know what's so crazy? Because I was thinking that.
Bruh. This is why we sisters, right? So, Corey, I even think I tried to end the last segment with giving you a little bit of grace. I felt bad at how Nails was getting in the ass.
I didn't even get in his ass like that.
I thought I was doing bad, but she was getting me. Now, she was making points that I couldn't even defend you with, right? But, bruh, they bring Tasia up, the beautiful Tasia. Now, you know, we've had our ups and downs with Tasia because she's very sassy and, you know, I'm a speak how I feel. This is what I do. And that's what it is. But I think that over the few episodes that we did get to see her, we did start to come around to her and warm up to her. And I've definitely warmed up to her following her on social media. She's just a woman that knows what she wants, and she's not literally there's no second chances for her. She said that. So Tanika Ray asked her, well, you know, what part did you play in your connections? And she talks about her connection with Phil. I'm a little upset that they did not touch on her very small connection with Sean, because I think I touched on that on one of our reviews. And I was just like, I thought they would have been a good match. Mm-hmm. He wanted kids. She was ready for kids. They were sitting at the table like they was getting ready to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sean, drop down in the comments. Let us know. Like, what was up with that? What happened with Tasia? But no, so we see Corey explain, or Tasia start to explain, that she was a third party in this whole situation with Mumin and Courtney. And the same things that Corey was telling her, meet my family and all this other stuff, he was also telling her.
And inviting her
and
on
telling her that
dates
she was the number one and inviting her on dates. And I just...
He just disgusts me. He disgusts me.
And the reason why it's so disgusting, Corey, because we talked about this off camera. There can be players in the world, right? There's a lot of men that ain't SHIT, right? But I think the issue for us is I'm an emotional person. So you, like you said, you carving our initials in a tree would have been something that would have, oh my God, he must be serious.
I must be number one.
You leaving love notes all around a place just for me would have been, oh, I'm number one. And again, from someone who was emotional like that, and again, I'm an affirmation person, so that for me would be like, oh my God. And then I turn around.
You would think that you don't take the time and
do that for everybody.
Exactly.
So the minute that I find out that you're doing it for everybody, bruh, you lucky you didn't get me, because you would have had a motherfucking psycho. You lucky you didn't get to date them for that long.
You'd have turned into Zadia.
You would have been getting a lot of nose hitting. Okay. And
I think people would have been okay with it then.
Right? And we see Tasia, like, every time she tries to speak, Corey's speaking over her. And
she's like, was I a third party, Corey? Was I a third party? Well, let me say, yeah, it's a yes or no. Am I a third party? Was I a third party?
And he's like, but I always said Tasia was cool. And then he goes,
oh, no, she was my dark horse.
And she was like, what the fuck does that mean? And then he was like, I used to defend her when all the guys, and I was like, hold on. So let me just say this, because we watched it. Nope, this is no offense to anybody. We watched it as viewers. I will say this. Corey was not absolutely wrong in what he said. And Shade Squad, drop down in the comments if you want to argue with me, if you want to. But go back and watch from the beginning of the season. He wasn't absolutely wrong in what he said. Tasia was in the bottom, 2 or 3 times before she got eliminated? And it was because they either weren't feeling her attitude, or they felt like she was standoffish.
She talked about work too much.
Whatever the case may be. So I'm not saying, Tasia, that you are not a baddie and that you were always in the bottom and nobody wanted you. I'm not saying that. But this narrative that
was it
Walter and Phil tried to push.
Nobody had to defend
her Tasia
because we knew she was always the coolest.
We never voted her down. That's not true.
If that's the case, why she was gone?
That's exactly
why she got off the show.
That's not true.
So who voted her off then? If all the dudes, nobody had to defend her. All the dudes was like, "Oh no, she the coolest."
Yeah,
and we fuck with Tasia. Then why she got voted off?
I get it. She's going through a lot. She's a beautiful woman. And maybe you just want to stay in her good graces. And I think she's probably a very beautiful person.
But I think you should have just kept your mouth shut.
But I think, exactly, because that definitely was, I will say in this moment, Corey was somewhat telling the truth. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say he defended her. But to sit here and act like y'all was all riding for Tasia, like y'all were riding for Zadia, like you were riding for Sabrina, like you were riding for, that's not true. That's not true. Sabrina was never in the bottom.
Wasn't Tasia?
Aisha was never in the bottom.
Wasn't Tasia voted like the first night?
It was Libba and Tasia. And then the second time, I think it was Tasia again. So not saying that you didn't have connections. And like he said, once you broke my walls down, and I think maybe, like I said, she had, as we grew into the season, we did see moments that it was like, okay, Tasia does have, and she can be vulnerable. And like I said, that when she had her date with Sean, I was like, oh, that's it. That's her connection. I thought that was it. And she was going to stay on the show with Sean, being honest. But again, you have other men involved. So to sit here and sell that narrative on TV when we watched it, I'm sorry, y'all. Like Maury said, that was determined to be a lie. Okay, that was a lie. So now we're gonna get off Corey and get to Zadia. We discussed the reaction. Even had Zadia kind of come in and explain herself through tweet and her reactions to things, and again, everyone likes to place blame on the shot or editing or whatever the case may be.
Camille.
So yeah, I will say that's more Camille than Zadia, but again. So basically we confront the situation with the love triangle between Zadia, Naeem, and Dante. Basically these were 2 of her top picks, the same thing that Aisha was coming at her about. Or not coming at her, but saying like, we need to narrow it down. Which would make sense. I feel like that's when we start to see the boil over of the tension between her and Aisha because they were sitting at the ladies' lounge and she told her she didn't air it. And Zadia was like, I ain't got to do shit. And I think now that I can hindsight, I can see why that happened. Because Aisha and whatchamacallit had started talking on the phone. And if you're open, yep. And if you're open and being honest, and Aisha's saying we need to narrow it down, and you talk about I got my two, and you don't tell me what I need to do. It all makes sense now. It's coming together. Fuck editing. It's now coming together logically. That's what pissed you off about what she said because you knew she was probably referring to Dante. That's just my guess, but common sense, like make it make sense for us. Because your energy that day was wild, and I told you, I was like, oh my God, we always thought Zadia was so sweet, so nice. We had never seen that person. Only reason you could give that energy is if there was something going on behind the scenes that we didn't know about, which we found out there was. Just saying, Shade Squad. Let me know what you think. But no, so basically they addressed the whole nose tapping situation and her going off.
I was gonna choose you.
And going off on Dante while he's eating his vegan risotto.
He said he didn't even realize that she said that. He was just too busy eating his risotto. I want to go taste it because this risotto had him distracted.
He posted about it and everything. He was like, I really like this risotto, y'all.
I need to go try it.
So, no, basically, you know, she says, oh, one thing I will say is I feel like it was half-assed accountability. Please don't take that the wrong way, Zadia. And what I mean by that is, no, should you have to apologize again if you've already apologized? No. But we're watching the reunion. Everybody wants to know. Tanika Ray is asking you what the outcome was of the situation, and did you apologize, and do you understand why this could give red flags and things of that nature? And I felt like you wanted to speed through it, and you didn't want to live in your shit, but it's already on tape. Yeah, so I'm sure
she was like, I apologize, and I'm apologizing now. You know, I'm sorry or whatever. But you know what she said, like she still made an excuse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just feel like, you know what, for the viewers, fans, and even people that may not care for you, because I still follow you. Think you're a great person. But I think that we wanted to see you you may have owned your off camera, right? And that's all you need to do. That's between you and Jesus and whatever. But when you come up on a reunion and you just want to speed through it like it didn't happen, I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, so point being, I didn't like that portion. And then they show back the clip of, like she said, I was gonna choose you. And Tanika Ray asked Naeem, well, how do you feel about that? Because what was he, a consolation prize?
Well, she asked Zadia, was he a consolation prize? No, of course not.
And Naeem,
but that's why you called Aisha
Naeem
dumb.
Sitting there, but I'ma stick by her side.
But that's why you was calling Aisha dumb.
I'ma stand beside him.
You was calling Aisha dumb and dense because you was mad as fuck that she got your nigga.
All right, y'all. This ain't much to unpack, but it's a lot to unpack because I'm gonna just start off with this. If you actually watch the episode, and you have DVR, if you recorded it, if you're watching it on the app, whatever you're doing, I'm going to need you to rewind and just watch this scene again with Dante and Aisha. And then look at how Camille can't even look.
She doesn't look. Everybody on the panel.
Because they're speaking. So they give them the respect, whether they fuck with them, whether they not. Everybody makes a face. Maybe they don't. Whatever the case may be. And maybe I'll give you this benefit of the doubt, Camille. Maybe because you are so theatrical that you felt like you couldn't control your facial expressions. But even Cornelius, you see him sitting here like, all right, y'all done. But he's still
even able to crack a smile for a second.
Exactly, but he was still able to give them the respect of looking at the. And I told Nels, I said, this almost comes off like some hatred type of stuff. And then she made
Aisha's supposed to be the hater.
And then what makes it so crazy, I said I was going to touch on that. And she said, well, you don't need to touch on it because Zadia is not the one that giving it to her. And Zadia is the one that said it. Mm-hmm. So why is Camille giving this energy? Crazy.
But you know what I love?
Crazy.
I love that Aisha and Dante did not pay that shit no mind. They didn't, I don't even think they noticed. They probably won't even realize until they run it back and watch it. Because look at them. Look at them. They
look
so
blissful.
He getting something. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. He up there rubbing her ass and they all close.
She already said she cooked the lingerie. Well, she allegedly.
She ain't say it.
Allegedly. She said, I cooked.
You know, bitches like to tease. I don't think she did it. I think she did it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying. But look at how close they are compared to Camille and Cornelius. Even Zadia and Naeem are closer. Body language.
Ooh, body language, y'all. And just it was like she almost felt uncomfortable seeing Aisha and Dante happy. Like that really bothered her. Is what it looked like.
She dead ass and I look. She messing with her dress.
Like doing anything to not. And I'm like, yo. Because here's my thing.
It's childish. It's giving childish.
And here's my thing. Because when I first watched it, and again, I told y'all, we watched these things a couple times when we come and review them. The first time I watched it, I said, no, she ain't do that. She ain't do that. Again, because we follow you. So the way that you speak about yourself, your accolades, how you carry yourself, being a woman of God and your Christianity and whatever the case may be. And, as Nell said, I think she said it best. This was childish. You looked very childish. And that's why the camera, I hate to say it, had no choice but to continue
keep on going back.
Keep going back to you.
I had screenshot after screenshot. This is just the only one I sent. Because it kept going back
to you. And maybe that was on purpose, but the point was, because other people made faces, like, don't get me wrong, but your level of discontent during this segment shows that you really have a problem with her. And if you don't, your body language is not saying that you don't. My thing is, I would give Cornelius. If you don't want to give somebody your energy, your time, just sit there. Okay.
You know what's so cool though? She's looking like a miserable bitch. And look at them. Over there happy as fuck. Bitch, you wish you had that. So Woo. Tanika Ray, basically, she's exiting and she's like, I usually give everybody a last little chance to
shoot their shot.
So does anybody on stage want to shoot their shot? Nobody spoke up. So she like, Tyrone?
He was like, and I think she was expecting him to say something about Carrie.
Okay. Why do I do that?
Yeah.
Carrie. So he's like, does the host count? She said, okay, like.
He tried to shoot his shot at Tanika Ray, and I thought that was really cute.
She cute.
She is cute, but it also goes to show, I think, again, we talked about it when in the beginning of the season, Tyrone came off so serious and kind of like uptight a little bit. Mm-hmm. So it was good to see like, no.
Yeah, look at that laugh.
He has a fun, loving side to him. And that was really dope. So kudos, Tyrone. We then see nephew Tommy come in. She brings him in to give his goodbyes. And he just thanks everyone for participating in the season and lets them know that, even if you didn't find your connection, please continue the journey. And I promise you will find what you're looking for. So I just thought that was super dope. And, hopefully, we follow him too. He's been traveling. So I think he's over the COVID thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a good season, guys. So nephew Tommy comes in and lets us know that we are heading up the Potomac River. Like we're on the Real Housewives of Potomac or something. So we going up the Potomac to meet our new
Still our
single.
area. It's still DMV.
It take them a little longer to get to DC than it take us. But the point is that we see our new cast of men and women coming up next week. So we will catch you for episode 1 of Ready to Love Potomac. I guess that's what they're calling it.
Mm-hmm.
And see what our new singles be like.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Shade in the City. So please make sure that you like,
comment,
subscribe,
and hit the notification bell.
And follow us on all social media platforms. And we will catch you next week for a new episode of Ready to Love Potomac. Have a good night. Bye.
Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Hey!